Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is January 12th, 2018. It is Friday. Just stepping on real quick to give a quick update on Winter Storm Hunter and also a channel announcement that we will cover Winter Storm Hunter only because we are located in an area that's going to see a big part of its effects. But I can tell you right now, here in a little bit, that they have scaled back on some snow, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. But I wanted to take a quick look at our solar conditions as well. Solar wind speed is right at 300 in the 20 degree mark. I looked earlier, I'm sorry, 320 degree. SPACEWEATHER.com had it at 359 kilometers per second, so that has dropped since then as well. Density is right at 5. Taking a look at our sun. Now, interesting enough, sunspot 2694 disappeared, but 2695 appeared out of nowhere on the far western limb of our sun. That is sunspot number 12, I believe. So as AR 2694 fizzled out, 2695 popped back up, but we are almost at a blank disk. Still watching that eastern limb. You see the KP indices, nothing over a 2, so very quiet. And take a look at this. Here's our solar wind speed. You see it earlier. Started off at 370, steadily declined below 330 now. There is, however, a slight chance of a G1 storm on the 13th of January due to a CIR. So it more than likely will spark some polar auroras for sure. I think this is still from yesterday. It hasn't updated yet, which if that's the case, I'll have to get on that. But just wanted to show you the numbers real quick. And now I'll move on to Winter Storm Hunter. Here's a look at what's going on right now currently throughout the Ohio Valley. Let me tell you, just from personal experience, I was out in this about an hour ago, about 12:15. We stepped out to grab a couple of things for the weekend. And thankfully, it was not that crazy at the grocery stores. I think a lot of people out here normally are prepared for things like this, so the stores weren't that crowded. Most people already done their shopping. And we left the house, it was 54 degrees. When we got back home, it was 41 degrees, and it was more than just 45 minutes. And I can tell you right now, the current temperature in my area, let me refresh my app here. We're sitting at 38 degrees and it is 1:31. So in the last hour and 15 minutes, just here in the just here in the western New York, northeast area, we have dropped from 54 to 38 in an hour and 15 minutes. So that is almost a 20 degree temperature drop, and it's still diving. Now, the snow totals, thankfully on Hunter, it seems like in our area, I'm not sure about the rest of the region, but the totals are going to be a little bit less than what they were originally predicted. Now, there was a pocket of dry air that intersected here in Tennessee and Kentucky, so the GFS model is off here. I don't think they encountered or took an effect that there was going to be some dry air. And right here where I've got my cursor, where this pink freezing rain is, thankfully, some dry air did make it up into the system and have taken away the freezing rain chance. Actually, it's this right here on the radar currently is clear. So it took away some of the threat. I know this was an area of concern for ice. But let's take a look here as we go through the motions. This is today, Friday. Taking a look towards later in the afternoon into Saturday. Overnight is where we're going to see most of the snow. Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. The snow seems to get a little more intense as it goes more upstate New York and into New England. And that's what GFS has got anyway. By Saturday, still early morning hours, and then by close to mid-morning, it's starting to make its way up and out. So by Saturday around afternoon, New England is going to be the only area. Upstate New York will be dealing with some snow, some lingering showers in Virginia. Pennsylvania, you might see some. You got lake effect snow up here in Indiana from Lake Michigan. Looking ahead at our future cast, they are forecasting another quick shot of snow by Monday in the Midwest, and it will reach again this same area here in the Northeast, and it stretches all the way back to the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma. You guys are going to get on some action next week. According to the GFS, it's still early, but right now it is favoring snow for much of the eastern U.S., from the Midwest, the plains, the Midwest, the South again, and some lake effect into Wednesday before it tries to quiet down once again. But look at this. If this stands up, South Carolina, you could be looking at a very significant snow system here. North Carolina, the far south may get into some winter weather again. So stay tuned, folks. This is going to be a busy week or so for sure. The weather patterns are very interesting right now. And then Thursday next week, so a week from today almost exactly, we're quiet, but look out here in the west. The GFS has lots of moisture out here. Rain again, snow, heavy snow it looks like here. And as we advance it out through the week, here we are Friday the 19th. Snow spreading across the United States once again, ahead of a little bit of a warm-up, kind of like what we've had. I don't think it's going to get quite to 60, but we are going to see some warmer air move in around the 20th of January. And from here on out, it starts off as rain, a lot like how this storm is. On Monday, January 22nd, by midday, it all goes to snow and looks pretty much a lot like the storm that we're experiencing right now. So we get snow chances Tuesday into the weekend, and also Monday, a storm system that starts off as rain brings cold air again. And here we see the pattern once again, another storm by late January possible. So again, I always preach about how I like to only go about 4 to 5 days out. But these GFS, a lot of times, they've been right. They haven't been too far off since I've been monitoring it anyway. But anyhow, I wanted to show the temperature map too real quick. And this just gives you an example here. This starts as of today. And it almost looks like it's a fight here. You got warm air coming back. We get a little bit warm again. And then here's that big cold push. How fast it just changes everything. All right. Into the weekend, it stays cold. We get another blast of cold air midweek next week. That's when we get another chance of snow. And then late week next week, we get back into the mid-30s, low 40s, close to what we were. And then another shot of cold air. That's that other storm I was talking about. So it's going to be pretty close and similar to this, but they're not forecasting as much freezing rain in this storm. But there isn't some encouraging signs here. Towards the end of the month, temperatures will try to regulate and hopefully get another thaw. But, you know, the problem with all this thaw and freezing for a little while, we get tons of snow during this period of time. And then as it gets warmer, we start getting rain instead of snow, which makes them melt faster. And now you have flooding issues. And here, I'm going to pause it right here at the end of the month, the 28th. And like I said, I don't like looking out this far, but the GFS is suggesting that we might see a little bit of a break for the much of the United States, except for your far northern parts of the United States. Northeast, you're still cold. You know, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Montana, Idaho, you know, northern parts of Washington and Oregon. But it looks like the rest of the country is going to try to regulate a little bit and try to be a little more closer to normal. But like I said, with that being said, we have to deal with flooding. And I can tell you right now in Western New York, there's a lot of folks up and down our street that are running their sump pumps we are fortunate enough that we do not have that issue at this time. But so there's going to be lots to keep track of here over the next 24 to 36 hours. And then, of course, like I said, we had another chance of snow coming in late on Monday into Tuesday here in the Northeast. A quick little system, actually. I'm going backwards. Here it is, and it starts to form, actually, you know, Sunday. It starts as early as beginning to develop in the northern parts of the country, and by, you know, Monday we'll see it spread across the Midwest, into the South, into the East Coast, Northeast. Wow. So busy week ahead, and I just wanted to step on real quick and give an update and let everybody